Hi folks, my name is Jasmine Brown, and for those that don't know, I'm a science education major, and my placement is at Conestoga Valley Middle School this year. I teach 7th grade, and three characteristics of me and my adolescents are that I'm a very independent person. I always have been, and I've worked really hard for everything that I have today. In high school, my family was going through a rough emotional patch, and being at school was a bit of a safe haven for me. My teachers were there for me every step of the way, and I really valued that, and I want to do that for future generations. And the last thing is that when my mom would drop me off at school or work or wherever she was taking me at the time, she would always look at me and she would say, "Jasmine, make a difference." And of course, being the teenager that I was, I thought that that was such a cliche thing to say. I rolled my eyes, as all teenagers do, but it was really something that stuck with me, and that's what I want to do. I want to make a difference. Two field experience moments that I have experienced this year was actually happened the other day. I have a class that's primarily made up of children who need learning support or who have IEPs, and that class is very distracted most of the time or not very engaged at all. And the other day my mentor was out and I actually had a sub in the room, but I was the one primarily teaching, and I had students raising their hands who normally don't, and they were more talkative, and they, in a good way, not they weren't distracting each other or anything like that. They were engaged in the material that I was teaching them, and it felt really good to see that that connection that I had made with them. And another experience I had was a student was leaving the classroom at the very end of the day, and she turned around and she said, "Miss Brown, will you be here tomorrow?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. Why?" She said, "Oh, I just want you to be here." And it made me feel great to have that connection with her. And not only that, it made me realize that just my presence in the room is making a difference to these kids. And even though I haven't taught them a whole lot yet, I am still a part of their daily lives. And the question that I'd like to be answered during this class is, I'm having trouble visualizing, how do I find a balance between student involvement in the classroom and still having authority. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but I don't want to give too much freedom in my classroom, but I want them to be able to express themselves, but I don't want too much freedom to the point where they don't respect me as an adult or someone with authority. And I need some better classroom management strategies to facilitate that. Cultural responsiveness in the classroom, to me, needs to be the foundation of classroom management, primarily because, especially with that one period with the majority of children with learning support needs, that's a very culturally diverse group of children, and how I discipline them may not be the way that or a culturally accepted way of disciplining them in other classes. So I need to be aware of what cultures I have in my classroom and how to handle that. And at this point in my teaching, I feel that I most relate to the reward and routine focus on this classroom management spectrum, because like I said, I want to have that balance between authority and still giving children the freedom that they deserve to better fit their learning. And I'm really excited for this course to be able to help me with classroom management strategies. Thank you. Happy teaching.